So, good evening. Good evening. As it stands, it's just me and Claude. Evening, Claude. Hope you're good, mate.
All right. Yeah,
we got bored of waiting for them two, didn't we? Chig and Kenny. I don't know what's going on with them two. Chig may have fell asleep again. I don't know.
I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know. Kenny's probably still working though. That's probably anyway. We'll see.
How you been, mate? You sound a lot better.
Yeah, I sound better, but the coughing is still there. I don't sleep very well at night, so it's a slow process. I thought I was getting better, a lot better, but yeah, I'm a lot better than what I was though a few weeks ago. Though I must admit.
No, you look better and you sound better, and yeah, man. Obviously, we're going to speak about the City game coming up. We'll speak about last night's game in a bit as well, and then obviously the return leg. But big up to everybody who is in the chat room already. 100 people watching already. Make sure you smash the likes up. Make sure you check out Discord as well. It's pinned to the top of the comment section. And here he is, fashionably late. You might have to have a ban if you carry on, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? All this lateness, Kenny. Lateness is not greatness when it's this late.
I'm sorry about this. Sorry. So sorry. Can you hear me?
No, good, man. I ain't going to argue with you, Kenny. I mean, your arms are bigger than my legs, mate. So, like, you can do what you want.
How you doing anyway?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm all good. I don't know how to assess yesterday's game, but I think that people, if we go by yesterday's game, I think at the end of the day, it was a good performance. It was a typical European away performance. Should have put our chances away, but we still, got a lot of work to do in the second leg because, 1-1, just because we've got the away goal, we've still got to play well in the second leg.
Exactly what I said this morning on my show, Kenny. Exactly what I said. So I agree with you, but there's not a lot of people agreeing with me, and there's a lot of people that were very disappointed with you last night.
I've seen so many people saying it was crap, it was this, it was that.
I found it a bit strange. It wasn't a great performance, but it was it was good enough. And listen, I can't understand. I can't understand that. Did honestly people think we were going to produce a Leeds United performance?
Yes, they did because they did.
Number one, they're completely set up the opposite way to Leeds, and I just don't understand it. This is a European game, all right? They're not the great Benfica of whole, but it's still a respectable European side. So it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, but this is the thing, though, Claude. Right? Our fans, from what I see before the game and in the lead up to the game, were saying, "Oh, they're just some crap team. They're fourth in Portuguese league. He's rubbish. The manager. He's going to get sacked if they lose," which is true. He was going to get sacked if they lost. But I'm sitting there like you and like Kenny. We know the history of Benfica. We know how big that football club is. Yeah, that is one massive football club. They won the Champions League, the second ever Champions League, European Cup, whatever. I think Real Madrid won the first one. They won the second one, I think. But they're a massive, massive football club, and they've still got some decent players. They're still very technically good. They can hit you on the counter. They've got players that can do that. We see some of that last night at times, especially when it was last 10, 15 minutes of the game and it was a bit stretched. Whereas us three, because we know how big they are, what the history and tradition of that club is, because we're maybe a little bit older, maybe a little bit, I don't know, less arrogant with it after the Leeds victory. We're all sitting there saying this ain't going to be easy. 1-1's not the worst result. We've got an away goal. We didn't lose. We didn't play well. And it's away from home. That all you can ask for is get an away goal. But I think the expectations were like up here for some reason. I don't get it. We can't beat Burnley and Palace. How do people think we're steamrolling Benfica, bruv? Like, I don't get it.
Because I think we went over the top on the Sunday game. Because to be quite honest with you, a lot of teams have done that to Leeds this season, and a lot of teams that are not that great have done it to Leeds. So it's the way Leeds play, and it allowed it. It was a top performance, but why we suddenly believe we can do that to every team is, especially we're in 10th place for a reason in the Premier League. That's I don't get it. I just don't get it. And some of the remarks like I heard last night. I mean, this poor geezer now is going to have to live up to a high expectation because they're starting to say Odegaard is reminded them of Mesut Ozil in the Real Madrid days. I mean, I mean, what's going on here now? What is going on with this fan base, man? Oh,
It's mad. It's actually mad.
oh,
The thing is, I actually thought he was man of the match, Odegaard. I thought he was our best player. But to put him on a level up here, no way. And the thing is, he might turn out to be that level. And in the last 2 games he's played, he's been very impressive. Even the 20 minutes when he came on against Villa, he was really good as well. But this is Arsenal this season. We're 10th because of this. Because we play great 1 week, and then 4 days later, we're bang average. Then we play great again, then we're bang average. We're 10th for a reason, and that is because consistency has been lacking. I see a stat as well after the game. Somebody put it in my chat, and I didn't believe it, but I checked it out. That was the first time since 2018 we've played the same 11 in back-to-back games. That's nearly 3 years.
That is shocking. But I think
that's why we're crap, Kenny. No consistency with the 11. So every time there's a change.
Well, the problem we have with our team is that with that 11, you know, there's some really harsh decisions being made, and he keeps on like changing his mind because of the results we've been having. Like, you know, I've been very critical of Pepe, but even someone like me has been critical of Pepe this season. I find it very, very harsh for him to be left out the side. But it seems like what he's trying to do, he's trying to accommodate Aubameyang in the side, and he's trying to accommodate Martin Odegaard in the side as well. So he's changing and chopping and changing. I think the next player that's going to face a chopping block is probably going to be Smith Rowe, because what will happen is that we're getting Tierney, so you know Cedric is going to have to miss out because he's coming back, and rightly so. Then we got Partey to come back. So if Partey comes back and everyone's agreeing that Ceballos had a better game than normal, then you've got Odegaard, who's got all that vision and can open doors. Then you've got Smith Rowe in the same team. There's going to be a situation where it's going to have to happen, and that's the problem. Is that one, the manager's indecisiveness, panicking because we've got bad results, and players coming back from injuries. One of the reasons why there's an inconsistency of selection. But as I said to one person last week, he's on another podcast, and we argued on Twitter for about 5 hours. You can't be unlucky over 38 games.
Exactly.
You can't be unlucky 38 times. You're basically where you finish on the table this May is where you deserve to be. VAR. You can't have a VAR decision in every game out of 38. It's not going to happen. Eventually you've got to look at yourselves and think, you know what? We haven't been good enough this season. We've made mistakes collectively in terms of selection, in terms of tactics, and also in terms of individual errors. And that's why we deserve to be where we are, because even though people say we're a big club called Arsenal, if we're not getting it all together on a consistent basis, and that comes with, keeping the same team and the same team, playing personnel, then it's where we should be. And I don't care what anyone says, all right? Because I've been on other podcasts as well where they say, "Oh, if only Arteta gets his full team, if only this happens." I'm sorry, mate. They sound like script writers for John Sullivan. You know what John Sullivan wrote, didn't you? Only fools and horses. Only fools and horses. I mean, no disrespect to a lot of our fans, a lot of these people who are staunchly behind Mikel. It's like Del Boy saying, "You know what, Rodney? By this time, next year we're going to be millionaires." That's all you hear from these people who are backing his manager, and it's not a criticism. The thing about it is that they think that there's all this time, and that John Sullivan's going to come, or John Sullivan's descendants are going to write another script, or a script of excuses, and then next season it's going to all fashion itself out, as we've seen at Chelsea. No time in football. It doesn't matter whether Lampard had a long contract. He was loved by Abramovich. If the results ain't happen, you're out. David Moyes, 7-year contract at Man United, didn't work out. He's out. And that's the thing we need to look at. Obviously, good performance yesterday, but results are still not encouraging enough for us to sort of think, you know what? But credit where credit's due. It was a good away performance.
Yeah, I agree.
What Kenny just said there, all this about the days where I'll give it 2 years to build and 3 years to build. doesn't work anymore because players don't stand around, do they? So don't stay around. So it's not about you can't be saying, oh well, give it 2 years and we'll all be in place. It ain't gonna be. You can't do it. It doesn't happen anymore. This is not 1985 and it's 2020, 21.
Mate, the most consistent teams in this league are the ones who pick the most consistent 11 every single week. Yeah, we know that Liverpool have a top class manager, and we know Liverpool's is starting 11. If they're all fit, we know they're starting 11. We know that it ain't going to change. Doesn't matter what team they're playing against. It's the same 11. And you know that if Mane's injured, then they'll probably throw in Jota. Yeah, if the left back's injured, it'll be Milner. Yeah, if one of their midfielders is injured, Oxlade-Chamberlain or Keita are going in there. You know they're 15 or 16 main players. Yeah, obviously they're scratching the surface at the moment with some of their players, but that's why they've been and had that level of consistency. It helps having a top manager to go with it. Man City, kind of the opposite, because you can't pick their 11 because they've got so many good players. Their squad's just a joke, but they've got world-class players in every position. They've got a world-class manager, so they're kind of out the way. You could go through all of the teams in the league, yeah, and every single one of them has put an 11 together consistently that we could all sit and name. I'm not going to take forever, but we could all name an 11 that has consistently played week in, week out for every team in the league. We have played the same team twice in a row, yesterday and Leeds, for the first time in 3 years. That's an embarrassment, man. And that for me tells me that Emery didn't know his best 11, which he didn't. Yeah, you have a few injuries along the way, I get that. But Arteta don't know his best 11. He's had 3 transfer windows and we've gone backwards. And we've signed Thomas Partey in one of them windows. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? It's mad.
I think the thing with Mikel, I think what's happened is he doesn't seem to be true to himself and what he really wants to do.
Yeah.
He still thinks, and he's clearly been reassured by someone that he's got all this time. And it's like he's still experimenting, trying to learn, about his team, learn about himself as a coach. And what I'm trying to say right now is that he just hasn't got that time. It's like he doesn't seem to be sure about Aubameyang or Lacazette where to play him. He certainly isn't sure about Pepe. He's the only player that he's really sure about is probably Kieran Tierney. Bellerin, he is and he isn't. But because there are some instances where he surely, if he's worked with someone like a Carl Walker, Express Place Walker, then surely he would think, well, hang on here, the level of player that I was working with Man City, this is how I want to go further on. So he's not too sure about defensively. He's not sure about the defence. And in terms of like Smith Rowe kind of fell into his lap. He clearly isn't sure about Balogun. He clearly is afraid of taking a risk on the guy because he's thinking, you know what, I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket with this youngster, so I'm going to feed him little carrots and say, oh yeah, you'll take your time. And I think the problem is that it doesn't really work because when you hold them back, you're probably holding them back for no reason. Look at Foden and Man City. Guardiola was always holding that guy back for the last 3 years to the extent that we always thought, well, hang on, if you just gave this guy, a run in the side, you'll realise that your fears and, like your cautious nature was probably misplaced. And I think that could be with Balogun. We don't know how Balogun's going to turn out. But the thing about Ødegaard as well is that everyone's laying a hat on Ødegaard. As far as I know, his first instinct is to go to Real Madrid, back to Real Madrid and fight for his place. I haven't heard anything from anyone in his camp talking about a permanent transfer. I haven't heard Arteta talk about it. So I think a lot of fans are running away with themselves. So, I was watching the Sky Sports Soccer show. Obviously, our good friend Kevin Campbell's on it. And they were asking about what blah, blah. And obviously, he mentioned about it could happen. I don't agree that it will happen because I'm not putting Arsenal down. I love this club. But come on. I've looked at this guy and his loan moves have always been about impressing Zidane to see if he can get back in that Real Madrid team. Yeah. And who knows? There's going to be transition. He'll be ready to go back in that team after they've had their transition.
And not only that, this league
one of your men made a great point there just now. You just gone on. This is the one time maybe that playing the same team wouldn't work, because he's right tactically. That's it. He said the wrong time to play it. It was a completely different game tactically, and it was hit and hope for Mikel. Yeah, I agree, because this is a completely different game, and maybe that was the wrong time to play that sort of team. Playing Erdegaard and Smith Rowe out of position, by the way, in that game.
Yeah, but you know it is, Claude. I think what's happening, right, is that
I also think Smith Rowe's hitting a bit what you call the red zone at the moment. I think he needs a break.
Yeah, he probably needs a break. But it'd be hard for him to get back to the team, though. But in terms of Arteta, obviously he's of the same sort of opinion as us, because whether he likes it or not, he can get all the assurances he can from the board and from most of the fan base. But I think if he wins the Europa League, that will give him enough time. And
do you think he's going to win it, though, Benny?
You know what? You've got to be in it to win it. But there's some really, really, really good teams, seasoned teams as well, who in that competition are probably better than us. But you know what? I'm optimistic. I hope we do, but I'm not convinced we will. And therein lies a problem, because if that's the case, then I think he's got a major problem, because we're out of every cup, and league forms so inconsistent, and that we are.
But that's why I was disappointed last night. I wasn't going off on one or angry or upset. I was just disappointed with how we played that game last night. It was like, this is our last opportunity to win something this season, and half of them looked like they couldn't be bothered. I
think the team selection, Lee, shouted, "Yeah, this is our most important trophy," because the team played very well against Leeds. Very comfortable, and he thought, "Hang on here, I want to play what I believe was my best team," because he probably thought, right, our best performance for was probably most of the Leeds games. So he said, right, I'm going to play the same players. So the flesh is willing, mine is willing, but when you get out there, I think Benfica made it difficult for us. I mean, how many times we caught offside?
Mate, it was a joke. Absolute disgrace. But you know what? When we come up against a team with a manager who's tactically very good, and has been tactically very good for a long time, any manager, other than Bielsa, we get beaten. Yeah, we get beaten. That guy last night, Jorge Jesus, that geezer's been in and around football management for fucking donkey's years. The geezer had us on the ropes towards the end when they broke through in the outside of the boot shot that Leno saved. They could have won it.
Substitutions,
we could have won it. Our subs were shocking last night. That game was crying out for
that allowed it to take a bit of control, the control that we kind of had. But the thing about it, right, is that I've been there before with us, where obviously we got to last 16 last year against Olympiacos. We won the first leg in Greece. Second leg, I think overconfidence took by, because if you look how we played at Olympiacos, they looked like they didn't have any pace when they played us. They looked slow. We looked like the ones who were, who had pace, especially in defence and especially in terms of attack as well. And then come the second leg, it's a different game, because all of a sudden they think, oh, hang on here, we need to win a trophy as well. And they all of a sudden, the players that were lumbering around slowly, and now
and they obviously realised that we ain't all that as well. They realised this team is fucking shit. Yeah. And what surprised me the most, Lacazette should have come on. It was crying out for Lacazette in that game. Yeah, that game he should be on. Yeah, I like Martinelli. I love him to bits, but you don't take Aubameyang off for Martinelli when Martinelli's barely featured, and you ain't rated him all season. But now you want to suddenly throw him in your biggest game. That makes no sense to me. Yeah, so I would have put Lacazette on. I think that if you want to bring Martinelli on, cool, play him left wing. This little experiment Smith Rowe on the left.
It wasn't a bad performance.
No, it wasn't.
Control of the game. Look, listen. I'll say it again. If Aubameyang puts them chances away, which he normally does, by the way, I couldn't believe he missed them. No one's complaining. No one will be complaining today, because we've been one foot next round.
He put it wider than he was close to goal.
You know what? He thought you were.
Evening, Chig. Chig is in the building.
Hello, Chig.
You there, mate? Chig? I think Chig's fell asleep.
He's only just got on now. Come on.
Do you know what I mean? I think he's fell asleep, bruv. Or he's gone to get a drink or something.
Put his mic on. I think he's hasn't put the mic on.
Yeah, he's on mute. He's on mute.
Is he on mute?
Yeah, he's on mute. Oh.
Has he got a dog? Has he got a dog?
Chig, I don't know what is going on with your mic.
He's got that slow-mo thing on, hasn't he? No, I got caught out with that yesterday.
I don't know what he's done, but Chig is in super slow voice mode. Anyway, go on, Kenny. Go on, mate.
No, all I'm saying, right, in terms of like the performance, culture, right, it's encouraging performance. But I think with Aubameyang, I think when he had that chance, he must have like pictured the celebration and said, right,
yeah,
when this goal goes in, I'm gonna do it. I don't know what sort of celebration. I'm probably gonna go and congratulate Saka, and all this is in his mind rather than what's coming ahead, i.e. the chance. And I think it's just one of those things. I've seen players miss it, but you know what? It's one of those things where the encouraging thing about Aubameyang was the fact that he was in those positions to miss those chances, because before Christmas, when I was very, very critical with him, he wasn't even getting those positions. He wasn't sharp at all. And he looked pretty sharp yesterday. Yeah,
he did. He looked sharp against Leeds. And then yesterday, that one where he missed it, I think you're right. I think he already celebrated before it come to him. You see Bellerin, who put it on a plate for him. And you don't say that often, by the way. Yeah. But he put it on a plate for him.
Maybe it was the shock of him getting it on a plate.
Yeah, maybe it was the shock of Bellerin putting a cross in. But yeah, it went 3 yards wide and he's 2 yards out. And it's like, I couldn't believe the net didn't bulge. Then the one where he went clean through, I was like, why are you trying to come back inside on that? That, to me, smacked of a striker out of confidence. But he shouldn't be out of confidence because he just bagged a hat-trick. It's like you should just hit that. Any striker hits that, whether it's their weak foot or not, they slap it. But it was just frustrating. I wasn't blaming the manager or, some of the players were shit last night. Don't get it wrong, but they were. But for me, it was a decent 1-1 away draw.
We've been there before, though. We've been there before where we've said that. I mean, obviously, obviously, you're a bit younger, but you remember when we played Benfica, nearly 30 years ago, where we had a 1-1 draw. Kevin Campbell gets one of the goals.
In the number 7 shirt, by the way. It's not a good omen.
In the number 7 shirt. And then in the second leg at Highbury, where we're wearing our away kit, a player called Isais, a Brazilian Portuguese, just murdered us. Absolutely murdered us in extra time when it went 1-1. So I'm not saying it's going to happen next week, but let's just hope the chances.
Would you be surprised if they knocked us out, though? Because I don't think any of us would.
You know what? It depends. Well, nothing surprises me in football because at the end of the day, Europe. A lot of people think that the Premier League is this massive, great league where we're above everyone else, and let's face it. Benfica had a good look at us. They know how to stop. They'll know how to stop us, and because we've got the away goal, they're going to be. I like to think that that they're going to be more open, which will be more opportunities for us. But I can see Benfica do it. What I think Benfica are going to do is that they're going to see how they go at half time. Second half, they're going to come at us after about maybe half an hour to go. If it's still 0-0, I see Benfica doing that.
Yeah. Let's try again with Chig.
I don't think they've got enough to threaten us, to be honest.
Don't underestimate any team in Europe.
Definitely against Arsenal as well. I wouldn't be underestimating him. Let me try Chig again. Are you there, mate?
Can you hear me now?
That's miles better.
Yes.
You know when you put it on, you know when you slow your voice right down and go like, that's what you sounded like.
So demon messages were coming through. Well, they're flipping out. Okay,
Nice.
sorry about that.
Doing,
yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right, and I actually agree with you guys. I think, like Claude, I'm quite confident we'll go through. But would it surprise me if we lost? Nope. Like it almost feels like it's written somewhere that, you know, Arteta is just not destined to get Arsenal past the last 32, and it just feels like next week or whenever it is we play the game, I just would not be surprised if I'm sat there and Arsenal lose, especially because it's not at the Emirates, so you feel some fuckery is gonna happen. I'm braced for fuckery next week. I really am.
Yeah, it's obviously we did the watch along last night, and like everyone was getting the like even afterwards when I went online, everyone was fuming, saying it was a shit performance. I thought it weren't great. Like Claude said, if Aubameyang, and you said it last night on the watch along, if Aubameyang buries them chances, we're through.
Yeah, I must admit I because I watched Claude and Curtis today. I enjoyed the show, and I didn't disagree with Claude at all. Actually, I didn't think I've seen Aubameyang play a lot worse, and I've seen us play a lot worse. The thing that encouraged me about Aubameyang's performance was I'm more worried when that motherfucker doesn't have chances, when he's not doing anything, when he's going through the game and you don't see him running, you don't see him getting chances. So for me, like you, I've seen us play. Maybe it's just the fact that we do watch-alongs. All three of us do watch-alongs, so we know we watch Arsenal and we've seen Arsenal a lot worse than that on a much more consistent basis. But like you, I've seen us play a lot worse than that. I thought we should have won. We didn't. So let's just see where it takes us.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do think we'll beat them, and I think Kenny was right. I think they're gonna try and park the bus. They're not going to play a high line against us in the second leg, I don't think, because if we do get a goal early, it's game over.
Their problem, Lee, is that they need to score.
That's but they got 90 minutes to do so, Claude. So they can go for it in the last 10, 15 minutes if it's still 0-0. Yeah, they'll probably be sitting there having their team talk before the game, saying, let's just keep it tight. Let's sit on the edge of our box. Let's try and counter-attack them. Yeah, we're technically the home team. We don't need to score.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, we're still going to try and go to score because that's how we play. We're going to try and score. And they'll just probably let us have the ball, sit on the edge of their box with two banks of four, everyone tucked in within the width of the 18-yard box, and just leave two wingers or strikers like a little bit further out and try and counter us. And that's where I worry for us, because if we were in the position they are in, yeah, they'd probably slap us. Sorry, we'd probably get slapped. Yeah, but Benfica ain't going to get slapped by us. Yeah, we're not going to batter them. Yeah, and that's why I worry, because the longer that game goes on next week at 0-0, at some point they have to go for it, but they don't have to in the first half. They could do it in the second half. Yeah,
I agree. It's not as if we're playing on our own pitch either, is it? So
that's the thing.
We did win though. It's Olympiacos' ground, isn't it? We did play there before and beat them.
I'd be so much more confident if it was the Emirates, but I just feel like some type of fuckery is going to happen.
No, it's not because of the crowd, by the way. It's because I think you're used to that pitch, innit?
Yeah, we're used to the pitch. Yeah.
Let's move on to Sunday. Man City, yay! Man City,
the Emirates.
Yeah, I'm going to shock you. Come to me about that. I'm going to shock you what I think about Sunday.
One second. Let me read out what Pep Guardiola's had to say today. Yeah, obviously, he's coming out with a PR. Right, so I want to read this out. Yeah, he spoke about Arteta.
Arteta loving. Here we go.
No, I didn't inspire him. What he is doing is a credit to him and his backroom staff. He is not an exception. What I have seen in the last few months, every game Arsenal play, they are better than their opponents. Sometimes you do not win, you can't control that. But what he is doing in the games in the last months, always better than their opponent. They control the games, create chances, and concede few. they have an exceptional build-up play. He then went on to say this, yeah? This is funny, bruv. Right, where is it? Hang on. Where is it? Here we go. Right. Arsenal have exceptional build-up play. They move many players and in many senses. All of the movements they have for the build-up to the final third, the quality for incredible energy, and for Smith Rowe, Saka and Aubameyang, especially with their runs behind. All of the players have quality in the middle to make the process, yeah, he's using our buzzwords, bruv, quite well. So that's why they will be hard. Let me start that again. So that's why they will be present, future, and a real contender for fighting for the title. Is he having a laugh?
Well, my question to him, Guardiola, would your fans accept that at your ground then? What was going on at ours at the moment?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, how does he think we're going to fight for a title when we're fucking 10th? When are we fighting for this title then? When's this going to happen? Like, he's off his head, bruv. It's mad. I genuinely do not get it.
I just think he's trolling. I honestly do. I think it's trolling.
Yeah, but he's not the only one that does it. Jose does it as well.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit.
It's like when Jose says Granit Xhaka is a great footballer. It's like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah, Granit Xhaka's a great footballer. Keep him at your ground because we don't want him. Like one of them ones, isn't it? But I'm really thinking that he's going to change this squad up at the weekend. I think we're going to see the likes of Laka back in the team. I think Willian might get a game. Pepe might get a game. I don't think he's going to risk Smith Rowe. I think he's looked knackered the last couple of games. I think we'll see Holding back in the team. Maybe Pablo Mari might be back. Who knows? He might be in the team again. I think he might put Tierney in. I hope he don't, because I don't want to see him injured. And he didn't look great last night when he came on, so I wouldn't start him. And then obviously we've got the game again next Thursday. I see us getting hammered in this game, if I'm honest. Real talk. I can't see us winning. I think that's 6.
I don't. And I've got a funny feeling about this game.
You're in these funny feelings, man.
You ain't going to believe what I'm going to tell you. And what I'm going to say, I've got a funny feeling about it. I believe that I think we are going. I think he will play a strong team, because what's going to happen is if he puts a weakened team out and we do get mullered, he will get so much more stick as well. So I think he will put a strong team.
I don't think he will, though. I don't think he will get stick, because our fans have already written the league off, Claude. Let's go for the Europa League.
Right, hold on. Yeah, but then if he gets in his mind, if he gets a thrashing, the people will be on his back anyway. So it's. But I believe, because also with Man City at the moment, they are clear in the league. Yeah, they've got a big gap. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also believe they've got one eye on that game on Wednesday. And what I believe is going to happen, I think they're going to bring back players that have not quite 100%. They're going to probably rest someone like Foden, who's been inspirational, and they're going to probably dip a little bit. And I think on our day we'll probably play our best football, and we'll probably beat them. Here we go.
They don't dip, Claude. That's the problem with them. They've won 16 or 17 straight games in all competitions, mate. It's ridiculous. They've won every game this calendar year.
It can disrupt a team. Even a top side like them, it can disrupt it, because
and the thing is as well, like when they beat Everton the other day, yeah, they didn't have Aguero. They ain't had Aguero all season. He was on the bench.
No. Well, my point is they're bringing back players, right, like De Bruyne and Aguero probably for Sunday, who are not 100%. Yeah, and that will probably disrupt their team, the flow of their game.
No, I totally disagree, mate. Aguero won't get a game against us.
I'm just putting that out. That feeling in my.
You've got that funny feeling.
Do you remember last season when we played Liverpool and everyone was going on about? It was in the league. We played Liverpool in the league, and everyone was going at the Emirates, and everyone was saying, foregone conclusion, yeah, we're going to beat them easy. And Liverpool was so far ahead. Had they won the league by then? I'm not sure, but they were so far ahead anyway.
Yeah, they were on the beach. They were on the beach when they come to the Emirates. It was after lockdown. And they batted it 26 shots.
The title wasn't actually won. Was it actually won by then?
Yeah, it was won. They'd already won it.
but anyway, but you could actually say the way where Man City are at the moment, it's virtually won, isn't it? I mean, let's and maybe sometimes you take it a foot off, and we will go out there.
This is the thing. This manager will not allow them to take the foot off the gas because do you know why? Yeah, he brought De Bruyne. I watched the game against Everton the other night. De Bruyne came off the bench and he was brilliant when he came on. Yeah, Mahrez was fantastic. Jesus up front is keeping Aguero out the team, and Aguero's back now. He's been back for weeks. He ain't featured. You know, they didn't even have Gundogan in the squad. Yeah, they kept him out as a precaution because he had a little knock. Yeah, Phil Foden again, quality. You know, and their defense. They don't ship goals. They've conceded 15 goals this season, and 5 were in one game. Yeah, so 23 games. They've conceded 10 goals. We ain't scoring against them, mate. No chance.
What you're not listening, what you're not understanding what I'm saying, I think they might make a lot of changes tomorrow. On
the changes are still world-class replacements.
They are, but that team has been playing together. That team, they've hardly changed it. That team has been playing on a good run. And sometimes when you're on a good run and then you just suddenly make a few changes, it can go. This is my hope for Sunday. This is why I think this is my hope for Sunday that we can get a result. It's not. I wouldn't go and put £1,000 on it. I might have a little tenner on it at 11-2. I might have a little tenner on it.
What do you reckon, Kenny? What does Kenny reckon? Go on, Kenny.
I must say, Claude, I've watched Man City since the turn of the year, and one thing I've noticed about Pep's teams this season that I wasn't noticed at the beginning of the season, I certainly didn't see last season, is that every player is playing for their pace, and that they're very relentless. There's no let up. Even so, in terms of like what's happened is that Phil Foden is now playing regularly. He has to play well every game, or he's gone. You know what I mean? Because Bronya's coming back. Silva as well. He's not getting a game. Remember Gundogan as well. They're all playing for places, and it's not necessarily them prioritising game. Every game's a big game for Pep. Pep wants to win the lot again. Last season, as far as he's concerned, it was a disgrace. Liverpool went and won the title comfortably, and everyone's talking about this great Liverpool revival and how they're going to dominate for years. That would have pissed Pep off. We pissed them off as well by winning the semi-final, where everyone's talking about Arteta as this great coach. So, as far as I'm concerned, even though he's got a big game against Mönchengladbach, was it Tuesday and Wednesday? No, on Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
There's going to be no let up from Pep. As far as I'm concerned, it's going to be at it, coach from the touchline, and then he's going to say, right, you're not giving Arsenal anything, and you're going to win, but you're not going to win by just basically win by your goal. He wants them to play with a bit of panache, and then when they get put the foot in the throat, they want to be able to sort of squeeze the life out of us, like they did with Liverpool's mistakes, and like they did against Everton as well. So I just still think it's going to be a very hard game, and I think that the way we play, it's a case of we don't get the first goal and we don't start the right tempo. It's going to be a situation where City are going to force us to hit the ball long, misplace our passes, and then once they just have 2 quick passes, they can hurt us. And I think they're at a level this season where every game is a 6-pointer, and that's why I have great fears for Sunday. Plus, I want to say one more thing. Sorry, one more thing. It seems that Pep Guardiola is maybe a certain person who we know very well is going to say, "Well, I've got some City mates who think that who say that Arteta's the greatest and blah blah." I think Pep's probably. I think that's going to be another bow to that person's argument, don't you think?
Yeah, but I'm just trying to give our fans some hope on Sunday.
We've got no hope. In fact, actually, that's a lie. We've got 3 hopes: no hope, Bob Hope, and envelope. That's it. That's it.
But don't you remember? You laugh and joke. Didn't I predict us to win at Old Trafford when everyone was writing us off?
You did.
This season?
You did.
You said we'll beat Burnley, though, yeah?
Yeah, of course. We all get things wrong now and again. I'm just,
Hey, can I just say though, Kenny?
even
Can I
boys
just say,
really
Kenny?
get things wrong, mate.
Claude was one of the first people out
That
here
is
to say
true.
Aubameyang staying. By the way, wouldn't you, Claude? You said Aubameyang staying. You was very true on that. But the difference between Man United and Man City is Man United's defense is dog shit. Yeah, and they get bailed out by their big players. They've got no style of play, and it's just vibes. Like somebody steps up and scores. Yes, we've done it today. Whereas with Man City, their defense is the best in the league by a mile. Yeah, they've got foundations and patterns of play. They've got a world-class squad. Thank you. World-class squad. So even if they take Mahrez out, they'll put Bernardo in. If they take De Bruyne out, Gundogan's back in. Their fucking team is relentless, mate. And then Aguero can't even get a game. Like, that's how good they are. He can't even get in the team at the minute. And if he does get in the team, he better bag. Otherwise, he's dropped again. So I don't see any chance. If anything, I see this being embarrassing, mate, because I actually think that this manager is going to change this team around because of the game on Thursday, because it ain't dead and buried, that game. And he's not going to try and risk an injury to one of our top players that he's going to want on Thursday for the sake of maybe beating Pep. Yeah, I don't see it. What do you reckon, Chris? First time I called you Chris for about fucking 2 years.
Yeah. I must admit, so I with Claude was very confident ahead of United, but that's because I saw opportunities of how we could beat them. I could see how we could beat them. I could see a path. With Man City, they were in full pelt gear 5 at the moment. And they're just running through teams right now. And like Lee said, for me, it's the type of run they're on. It's like 16 or 17 games and they had to put that shit together because they had to claim. Well, it's not broad, they had to claim the league. They had to send a message that hold on, fuck this, and they've gone on that run. And you know, I will also have a bet. I will also have a flutter at 11-2 because the odds are ridiculous. But the odds are ridiculous for a reason. You know, the fact that we're at home and we're 11-2 to beat City tells its own fucking story.
Last win was against them in 2015. Santi Cazorla.
Yeah, it tells its own story.
Running the show.
You know, I don't care how many times Pep wants to sell this. Oh, my Arteta is this really good apprentice and is up and coming, and Arsenal are better than most teams. We ain't going to be better than City this weekend. That's for damn sure. We have to play at 110%, and they have to be less than 50% for us to have a chance of beating them.
Yep.
And I just don't see that happening. I don't see them playing that badly.
It's been a crazy season, Chris, though, isn't it? It's been that sort of season. Look, no one expects.
It's not been a crazy season for City, Claude. They're the only team with consistency.
Listen, Claude, is it impossible? No.
I don't think it is. Look at some of the results that have happened this season. Would you have said West Brom would go? Would you say Burnley would go to Anfield and win? Not a chance. Would you say Burnley would go out the Emirates? You wouldn't.
Under this manager, yeah.
Brighton go to Anfield and win. You wouldn't say that. You wouldn't say.
Come on, that's my doppelganger. I told him how to beat Liverpool.
It's not. If you're going to say it, I mean, anything is possible. Yeah, I can win the lottery tonight. It's possible, but you know, I just don't. The likelihood is what I'm talking about. We're 11-2 for a reason. You know,
they have only lost 2 games all season. Let's not forget this, yeah. And both of them were very early on. One of them they lost 5, conceded 5 against Leicester. Who was the other team they lost to? Can't remember. But they lost really early on, and they were below us at one point in the table.
West Brom, didn't they? They drew at home to West Brom.
Yeah, and they were below us in the table at one point, and they had 2 or 3 games in hand, and everyone was writing them off. And then they've just gone whoosh, 16 straight wins in all comps. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like Chig said, they are fully in top gear at the minute. Yeah, and we've got no chance. In fact, I actually fear for us. Yeah, because I think this is going to be a madness on Sunday. And Pep's one of these managers where if he goes 2-0 up real quick, he ain't taking his foot off the gas. He wants to fucking go for more.
Yeah,
and it could get really embarrassing, mate.
And don't get me wrong. I think See, I slightly disagree with Lee. I think for a while, I think we'll be competitive, and then somebody's gonna fuck up. Somebody's gonna fuck up. Let them in.
Probably better in.
Heads are gonna drop. Then before you know it, we've let 2 goals in real quick, and the game's a wrap. Do I think we're gonna get embarrassed? I don't think so, but I do think we'll be well beaten. I can see us being beaten.
Let's not forget we did beat them under Arteta. I know it wasn't the league in the FA Cup, didn't we?
Yeah.
Was that when oh no, it was Klopp that we broke when it's not Pep. Not Pep. My bad, it was Klopp that we broke.
They're not undefeated to us, but that's the one reason you could say it's not impossible. But
that's at Wembley, and Kevin De Bruyne in that game, was probably still their best player, but he wasn't on it. He couldn't do it all on his own, and the rest of that team that day were pretty fucking average. Let's be real.
They can have another off day tomorrow.
No chance. Now they've got the bit between their teeth. They're on it. The last season, let's not forget, they already knew the league was gone. Yeah.
I actually think they play a slightly different way now as well.
Yeah, they don't need Aguero in their team. They play slightly different. You're right. Because they've had to adapt, because Aguero ain't going to be here next season, I don't think. Yeah, so they're trying to do different things for teeing it up for next season as well. And if you look at them as well, they're not heavily reliant on Kevin De Bruyne anymore. Yeah, Gundogan stepped up to the plate. Foden's making a name for himself and been brilliant recently. You know, Bernardo Silva came in the other night. He was fantastic the other night against Everton. Mahrez is stepping up. You know, and Sterling ain't even been that great this season, but he's still had a better season than most of our players. Yeah, it's mad. The level of quality they have in that team is unbelievable, to the point where John Stones has been fantastic this season. He was on the bench the other night. They benched him for Laporte. Laporte couldn't get back in the team for weeks. And then he benched him for...
Having said that, it was only 1 goal in it, wasn't it, at the Etihad? Even though we played a lot, we've been shit this season.
That's when our manager came out and said, normally we lose 3-0. At least 1-0's all right. Fucking loser. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you lost, mate. It doesn't matter whether you lose by an inch or a mile. Losing's losing. But yeah, I do think. But not only that, that was very early on in the season as well, when they weren't in decent mode. They were below us, I think, when we played them.
Oh, that's another game I predicted. I forgot. Sorry, when we played Chelsea, I predicted that as well when we beat Chelsea.
You did, you did predict Chelsea.
No one gave us hope against Chelsea, and Chelsea at that time were flying. And everyone wrote Arsenal off, didn't they? So it's always hope. It was always hope. At that time, they were playing well, Chelsea, weren't they? So, I don't know.
No, you're like my mum, Claude, in the sense that she always predicts us to beat the big teams. She always predicts us to beat the big teams. The little teams she predicts us to fuck up against. But I just don't see the City one.
We haven't beaten them.
And I like to try and be optimistic, but I don't see it.
Claude, we were all there. Me, you and Kenny were there that night when it was freezing cold after we just got battered in the cup final against them on the Thursday night as well. And it was an empty stadium pretty much. And then David Silva put them 2-0 up inside 20 minutes and 10,000 walked out. And there was about 10,000 left, wasn't there?
Was that 2 days after the AFTV anniversary, though? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
And that night, that was just an exhibition match. They literally just turned it into a testimonial.
We were really on the floor then, weren't we, at that time?
But you know what? Even at 2-0, right, and in that game, or was it? Because I think it ended 3-1, didn't it? I think that game finished 3-1 that night.
It ended 3-0.
3-0. No, you're right. They scored one right near the end, didn't they?
It went over Mustafi's head, didn't it? Was it Mustafi or was it? No, it wasn't Mustafi.
I can't remember. But Mesut Ozil.
That's the cup final.
Yeah, that was the cup final. That was Mesut Ozil had a chance at 2-0 in that game, where you'd normally expect him to trap it and then shoot, and he miscontrolled it, and the keeper had rushed out. And if he had scored, that would have been 10 minutes to go, 2-1. We might have been back in it. Instead, they went up the other end and fucking made it 3-0. But they weren't even in second gear that night, and they've done us 3-0. Yeah, they're better now than they were then. Yeah, and they're in top gear now, and we're worse than we were then. So I see this being 5 or 6, mate, if I'm being honest. I hope I'm wrong. Yeah, I really do. But I can't see this being anything other than a 5 or 6-0 to City. We ain't scoring. We're not scoring. And if they really want to be ruthless, If they go 2-0 up in the first half, they will fucking squeeze every ounce of it out of us, mate. Yeah, because they will embarrass us. Yeah, Foden's movement's just a joke. Like, and he can score. He can go left, right, either side of the pitch. He can play a number 10. Yeah, he could even play fucking false 9. Yeah, the geezer's such a talented footballer. And then you've got De Bruyne, who bullies our midfield every time he plays against us. Yeah, so I'm shitting it, if I'm honest. And it's going to be a massacre, mate. It's going to be a fucking big cricket score at the Emirates.
Having said that, right, and I mean, I don't agree with Guardiola's comments, by the way. I don't agree with it. But a lot of people are saying the same thing in the media, aren't they? What Guardiola, you know that comment that I heard that
he's fantastic and he can win the league and his methods are great. And
the comment about us, how much we're improved. But a lot of people, I mean, I don't agree with it. Kenny, I'm sure doesn't agree, but a lot of the media are saying the same thing. I don't know why. Maybe we're in the wrong. Maybe we're not seeing something.
Claude, we're not in the wrong. It's a narrative. The foot is Claude. It's just there's this narrative where, regarding Arsenal, that the reason where we are is because of bad luck. You know, VAR decisions, individual errors, injuries. We've been playing well. We've been dominating games. But as I said before, at the beginning of the show, you can't be unlucky 38 times in a season. No. You can't. It's just not possible. You know, sometimes you just have to accept that, you know, it hasn't been good enough. I mean, that you know, period between November and December has killed our season. Absolutely killed it. Mangled it, destroyed it, made us play catch-up, where basically if, you know, West Ham keep winning, Liverpool, you know, decide to improve and Spurs improve, we're just going to be having a situation where if we go out of Europe, God forbid, it's just going to be like the 80s, where from March we're just playing for nothing. We just players just playing for their contracts. You know, we got nothing to play for, and I think that's how bad it is. You can't. So when people praise Arteta, I'm saying, well, hang on here. He's been unlucky. Neither 38 games. It's just not possible. No. Unless you've got something wrong with you.
That's why I said last week. I said even if, and I personally wasn't one of them people. But even if you wanted to say, oh, well, the first season, he finished 8th, and he took over from 2 managers, so he was unlucky, and all this bullshit I was hearing.
The Corona thing, it stopped the season and all that. You could say,
right. Even if you wanted to say, okay, fine. This season was all him. All his decisions, all his players, all his tactics, and we're going to be lower. You can't be telling me for 38 games. And this is why last week it was pissing me off listening to certain podcasts. Oh well,
I don't listen to them.
Bad. We are where we are. We need to be. This is where we deserve to be. So we should just accept it.
Yeah, we've got no God.
How about you get rid of the reason why we're there? Get rid of the reason why. Do something about the reason why we're there. We can't be unlucky 38 times. In the season. It doesn't happen. No. It doesn't happen. I hate them excuses.
And this is the thing, yeah. If we do get dumped
Wenger
out,
would never, and I can't stand Wenger, but Wenger would never have us at 10th at this point in the season. 10th.
He never has. He never did, and he had worse squads than this.
We're barely holding on to that.
But the narrative is though, Chig. Oh, but the league's more competitive now. Yeah, it's more competitive because Tottenham have dropped down. Yeah, Chelsea have dropped down. Liverpool have dropped down. And teams like Aston Villa, West Ham and Everton have suddenly got up there. Yeah, that's why it's more competitive. Yeah, which is why I've got the fucking ump with this manager. Because do you know what? I said it at the start of the season. We should be challenging for top 4 at least this season.
At least.
What we've got.
We used to laugh at that.
He gets us in the top 4.
We used to laugh at that.
Yeah, because we had standards there. Our standards have dropped.
And you know what?
The thing is, Claude.
Go on, Kenny. Go on, mate.
Standards, when you're talking about top 4, that wasn't good enough even then.
No, I know.
That's why we want Arsene fired, because we knew that that we were never going to win the league under this guy, because what was happening is that there was a certain plateau. But the problem is that what we got now with this manager is just that there's a lot of Arsenal fans who are trying to put the genie back in a bottle in terms of our expectations and our ambitions, and that has to be accepted. And it's like, well, you got to like it or lump it. And I'm thinking, well, I don't like it, and I'm not going to lump it. because I want the best for the football club.
It seems like if you're an Arsenal fan and dare to want an instant impact, you're being unreasonable. But everyone else is allowed an instant. Look at the fucking Chelsea manager. Look at the Chelsea. Oh, it pisses me off. Look at the Chelsea manager. Oh man, went in there. No nonsense. I don't care. I'm making decisions. You motherfuckers may not like all my decisions.
Bruv, man was dropping Chilwell Alonso at left back, bruv. He was dropping Reece James to the bench. Get on the fucking bench.
You may not like all my decisions, but guess what? I'll get us up the table. And that's exactly what he's done. That's exactly what he's done. But according to certain people, oh well, you know, it's not realistic that we expect such a thing. These things take time. Why is it we are always the one where shit has to take time? Why can't we expect something instant?
Tell him again, Chiggy Chig.
Fucking hell.
Let me give you another example, yeah? Antonio Conte, right? We can use the Chelsea example all you like. Cool. We're not going to use that. We're going to use the Inter Milan one, yeah? They're currently sat top of Serie A, by the way. It's top of Serie A. He took that job at Juve and they finished 40 points behind. Well, sorry, he took the job at Inter and they finished 40 points behind or 30 points behind the previous season, yeah? Last season, we got him in a title race in his first season and they flopped away in the last 5-7 games or whatever, yeah? They're now top of the league this season. Top of the league. Yeah?
Every other team.
How can he break Juve's dominance and get them top inside one
season? Have to be the ones that have to do baby steps.
Yeah,
exactly. I don't understand it.
But you know what it is? It's the media that drive it in this country. I've had this conversation with Rants before, yeah? Right? Where we sat there and we said that it's basically peddled out there that everything has to be a process. Everything has to take time. Yeah, then all the media jump on board. Most of these people that sit on Sky Sports are mates with the managers they're talking about. Yeah? So fucking Tim Cahill is never going to slag off Mikel Arteta. So why are you getting him on there?
Exactly.
Yeah, why are you getting him on there? What, just to keep pushing that narrative?
Even Roy Keane's like that.
Yeah.
Everyone's like it. They're all like it. Which is why I don't listen to half of what these pundits say or these journalists, because I'd rather listen to you, Kenny, or Claude, or Chig, or people in the chat, because guess what? You support this football club.
Yeah, but why does Paul Merson get pelters? Why does Paul Merson
Because he speaks facts.
Why, you know what I mean? He's getting pelters. I don't understand. Yeah, at the end of the day, Paul Merson's a Chelsea fan anyway. I ain't got it. Paul Merson was used to excellence at Arsenal. And you know, even after Wenger's first season when he was sold to Middlesbrough, he saw from afar excellence. So I don't understand why Arsenal Football Club won't accept, why people in a fan base won't accept the process started when Arsene Wenger was fired. Why we still doing babysitters?
Robson instead of Adrian Clark? Why did they sack Stuart Robson and got Adrian Clark in? That answers the question.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. Why is
and does anyone know who Adrian Clark is? I didn't even know he played for us, mate. Yeah, he actually played for us, innit? I didn't even know that until one of you two told me. I was like, what? He played for us? I didn't know that.
For us, yeah.
Yeah, he must have played about 2 games because I can't remember him.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
It's not about it. It's not about how he's played games. It's about,
and I'm sure he's a nice fella.
Fan base. Yeah, but you know what it is? It's that what are we trying to sell the fan base? Because I'm not too funny, right? I don't care what anyone says, right? The modern football fan, right? A lot of our fans who go on these who are part of this sort of genre are modern football fans who are used to us winning. For instance, if I just flip it to say the modern Man City fan, the modern Chelsea fan, right? The modern Man City and modern Chelsea fan have only seen success under Abramovich and Mansour, so their expectations are up there. Why do ours have to be so low? Why do standards have to be low? What are people afraid of? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And by the way, Tuchel's come in halfway through a Lampard season. You bet your ass they're going to be Chelsea fans saying, "Oh, well, you know, we've got to forgive his league position because Lampard fucked it up." It won't be needed.
He inherited a mess.
It won't be needed. It won't be needed
because it will sort out just like that. That's what he's been hiding.
Yeah, but this is what our fans will say, though, lads. Yeah. Our fans are giving it he inherited a mess. No, he didn't. He inherited the team that had just finished in the Europa League the season before in the final and finished 2 points off third. That ain't a fucking mess. He inherited a team that was 8 points off fourth after 13 games. Yeah, and had lost 3 games out of them 13. Freddie then took over. Yeah, and we lost a couple more, I think, or drew a few, whatever. So he took after about 20 games in, 18 games in, whatever, yeah? 19 games, yeah? He didn't inherit a fucking mess. He inherited a squad that was better than the squad Unai Emery inherited. I had some geezer on my Instagram the other day telling me, oh, yeah, but when Emery came in, he inherited a more stable squad. What you mean? Just been there for fucking longer? Is that what mid-stable means? You've been there for a certain amount of time. So what, you inherited a bunch of fucking idiots that should never have been there anyway, but have outstayed their welcome. This manager has inherited fucking Kieran Tierney, yeah, proper fucking left back. He's inherited a £72 million footballer that he don't want to play. He's inherited Aubameyang, he's inherited Laka, and he has Aubameyang at the top of his powers when he inherited him, by the way, yeah. Lacazette was better under Emery than he ever will be under this manager. That ain't even a debate. He inherited a fucking a decent fucking squad, this manager, and then he's ripped the fucking soul out of it and fucking smashed it to pieces and fucking totally changed everything up and fucked off players that shouldn't have been fucked off. The ones that have got passion for this club, like Guendouzi, like Emi Martinez, the longest serving player at this football club until he binned him, and now he's playing twats at right back like fucking Bellerin. Yeah, Granite's back in. So when people, and he's had 3 transfer windows and bought Thomas Partey and Gabriel in them windows, and we've gone backwards. How anyone can sit and justify that this manager is any good is a fucking joke. You're lying through your teeth. Because if Unai Emery was doing this, and people can sit there and say, oh, give it up, he weren't good enough. Yeah, ultimately, he wasn't good enough. But guess what? We judged Unai Emery on the standards of the manager he took over from, of fourth, and that weren't good enough. Then he dropped to 5th and 6th. That weren't good enough. We potted him. Now Unai Emery comes in, takes us to 5th, yeah, and a Europa League final, and then 3 losses next season. Not good enough, sacked. So why the fuck is this guy the guy tasked with running a process? Why is the process?
The answer's there.
He says here that's why we watch YouTubers. But then again, there are YouTubers who to get into mainstream are not saying what they really believe
Exactly.
100%.
This is another thing. That's what you.
But they actually believe it. No, Claude, they do believe that. I disagree with what you all saying. They actually believe it, Lee. They
don't because they're going to get a bigger job because they know they won't get in. Otherwise,
I'm disagreeing with what you're saying, Claude. Yeah, but Claude, the reason why I say that they actually do believe it, because this is the standard argument we had when Arsene was in charge, when we wanted him to be replaced. It was the same narrative. Oh, we're under a bit of transition. We can't compete with City's money. We can't compete with Chelsea. You guys spoiled. You have this entitlement, and that you need people like in the media, like Laura. And people like KC and people like Ian Wright and Tony Adams to teach us entitled bunch a thing or two about football. That is the narrative they're using now with Arteta. They're all saying the same sort of things. They're saying things. They're saying it's going to take time, and that he's going to come good. And I'm prepared.
It didn't take Ranieri time at Leicester, did it? It didn't take Ranieri time. It didn't take exactly. It didn't take Diego Simeone time to break in and break the mold of the 2 biggest clubs in world football as soon as he got the job at Atletico. It didn't take Antonio Conte time at fucking AC Juve. It didn't take Antonio Conte time at Chelsea. It ain't taking him time at Inter. Why does it have to be us that takes time?
And that's the thing. How much time?
Arsenal Football Club.
How much time?
Yeah, how much time? When's the cut off?
Arsenal Football Club. The mentality.
When is the cut off?
Yeah, because you've got to realise the standards are low.
Yeah, but Kenny, my standards are not low. I grew up in an era where George Graham was stinking the gaff out, but we were winning trophies. 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. Then I got Arsene Wenger.
I hear you, Lee.
And now my standards are up again. My standards are up here from the day I was...
We're in a minority, though. Yeah, but we're in a minority.
Did Leicester City take time? Did they take won the league?
But people are saying that was a miracle. It never happened again. Well, how comes they're above us again then?
Exactly. And by the way,
good management, good players.
And I heard an ex-player going on a bit all the time on it. All this bullshit about, it's the players and all this crap. And they've got. How is it then? How is it that West Ham, who I don't think have got as good players as we are,
West Ham
sitting off the top four, a couple of points off top four?
And that's the thing, right? You can say, cool, we can't compete with Man City financially. We can't. Yeah, I accept that. We can compete with Liverpool. We've outspent them in the last fucking God knows how many years. Chelsea, we've outspent in the last 6 seasons. So that one's a load of bollocks. Oh, but they spent 200 million in the summer. They spent fuck all the summer before, though, did they? We've spent more money than fucking Chelsea in the last 6 years. Fact. Yeah. The only club in the last 3 years net to outspend Arsenal in Europe is Man United. So when people say we can't compete, well, we have competed, haven't we? Right? Then you sit there and go, okay, well, maybe we can't compete with Man City that can do £500 billion on centre-backs and keep changing them every summer. Cool. But we can compete with West Ham, right? We can compete with Aston Villa and Everton, yeah? Yeah, we can, yeah? So how comes all the us this season?
The manager that took over at the same time as Arteta has, and if you want to bring the COVID argument in, has also had COVID. Yeah,
twice.
Because a lot of people want to COVID shit in. Right, he's had it as well. So he's doing better than him.
Yeah, it's a joke. And not only that, if you went pound for pound through their squad, our squad's fucking miles better than theirs. People will have you believe the manager's shit at West Ham as well. He's better than fucking Arteta will ever be. Yeah, he is better than Arteta will ever be. He has got Jesse fucking Lingard in midfield pulling the strings.
Do you know also another argument that really pisses me off? You know when people say, oh, well, you know, everyone goes up and down. It's been a crazy league. Why is it we never go up and down then? Because I only ever see us at 10th, 11th, 10th, 11th. That just seems to be our sticking ground.
It's been a crazy league, is it? Yeah, it's been a crazy league. I'm looking at the league table right now. Yeah, Leicester have lost 6 games. Chelsea have lost 6 games. West Ham have lost 6 games. Liverpool have lost 6 games. Everton have lost 8 games. Yeah, Aston Villa have lost 8 games. Spurs have lost 7. We've lost 10. Yeah, come on, every team above us has lost fucking at least 2 games less than us.
Liverpool have lost probably half their squad through injury as well this season.
Exactly. We've actually listened to this. This is mad, yeah. Right. So we're 10th. Yeah. Where's Fulham? Where's Fulham? Fulham. Yeah. Where are they? No, it's not Fulham. Which team is it? Or maybe it's Brighton. I can't remember. I'm going to find it. It's goals conceded. Yeah, because everyone bangs on about our fucking defence being amazing. Yeah. Right. It's actually level with Tottenham's. Aston Villa have got a better defence than us, by the way. They've got the 2nd best defence in the league. Aston Villa, by the way, 2nd best defence. Do you remember when? But we got the 2nd best defence in the league. Well, we ain't anymore because Villa have. Yeah, with our goalkeeper in goal. Do you know what I'm saying? Chelsea are joint with Villa as the 2nd best defence in the league, by the way. And this is the same Chelsea that sacked Lampard and ain't lost a game since. In fact, they've won every game bar one. They drew the other one, the first game in charge. He's won every fucking game. Yeah, and all of a sudden,
we got a best defense, 2nd best defense in the league. Okay, cool. Is that keeping me warm at night? Because I still see us at 10th.
I'd rather be top with the worst defense in the league, wouldn't you? No, this is the thing. Everything gets spun by the media. Yeah, I have grown up on fucking George Graham and then Arsene Wenger winning trophies. Yeah, my standards from the day that I started watching football and watching supporting Arsenal was, oh, fucking hell. Anfield 89. I love some of that. Love some of that. That's where the standard should be. But this football club has sold its bollocks off, mate, yeah, to fucking push out the fucking bullshit about, oh, we're moving to the Emirates to compete. They were never moving to the stadium to compete. They were moving to the stadium to do exactly what we're doing now, whilst fleecing millions of Arsenal fans globally into thinking that there's a bigger and better picture coming in 2 years' time. And then in 2 years' time, after we sack this manager, it'll be, let's do it all over again. And we'll constantly be between 5th and 10th for the next 5-6 years until this club gets some fucking bollocks or the fans get some bollocks and stick it on the club. Until then, this is us. This is us. I demand better. Yeah, you demand better. Yeah, you three demand better. The guys in the chat demand better. But 99% of our fans don't. And that is the problem.
I just demand for this propaganda type shit about Arteta to stop. So it's like, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. You know, look, for me, I don't hate the man. I don't hate the man. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You know, if you gave me 6 million, 3 million a year to manage Arsenal. I, like a fool, would go into it as well and say, I could do it, you know? But at some point, you have to say to yourself, maybe this is not working out. You know, I don't care how good looking he is. I don't care who he's worked with. I don't care. If it's not working, it's not working.
And why is this guy the guy that is tasked to have the rebuild? Out of all the managers in the world, you pick one that's never managed.
Exactly.
Right?
It makes no form of sense. No form of sense.
But this is the thing, right? And this is why I get the ump, because I'm not going to judge this manager compared to Arsene Wenger. He was here 2 decades or more. I'm judging him to a guy that's been here around 4 months more than him in Unai Emery. Yeah, he didn't win a trophy, but I'll tell you something now, if he had this fucking squad, or if he just had Thomas Partey, who he wanted, in his squad, we'd be top 4 this season. Yeah, if Wenger was here, we'd be top 4 this season. Yeah, we'd piss it.
Any experienced manager.
Villarreal beat Salzburg 2-0 last night. 2-0 away to Salzburg with fucking Capoue, yeah, Etienne Capoue, and fucking Danny Parejo as a double pivot in midfield. Yeah, fucking turn it in. Yeah, about Arteta's a genius. He ain't fucking, he's shit. I'll tell you what, in fact, actually, I'm lying. He is a genius because he's conned 99% of this fan base into thinking he's fucking good. Yeah, true, innit? It's pathetic. It's pathetic. Anyway, I can breathe now after my rant. I didn't even know I got into that rant. I blame Claude for saying Man City are going to win. No, not going to win. Arteta was going to win. Big up to Suleiman. Big up to everyone watching. 600 people watching. Thank you for everyone who's dropped a super chat in. Appreciate it. I have pinned them. No, I've said thanks in the comments on everyone. Big up to Suleiman. We're dumb enough to accept Wenger as a coach. After 3 titles and a few FA Cups and 20 years in charge, we accepted 4th, and now it's eating us. It is. And this is the thing. The Sky Sports generation, yeah, would rather, oh, yeah, but he won us a, thank you. He won us an FA Cup, and then they peddle the professional soccer aid trophy as a fucking trophy, which it ain't. It's a fucking community shield. It's a charity game, mate. Yeah. And I'll tell you something. I said this the other day, yeah. If, and it is an if, because I don't think they will, if Tottenham win that League Cup, watch our fans cuss that cup. Yeah, watch our fans cuss that cup while spending all fucking summer knocking one out about a community shield. Yeah, that is what you're dealing with in this fan base. And that's why we all get on, because we're all on the same fucking page when it comes to this football club. We expect our expectations to be up here as a club. Yeah, why should we lower our expectations just because everyone else is? Not for me, not happening. I want my club to win a trophy, the title,
and that's why I feel resentful, and that's why I feel very resentful towards resentful. And I've been very resentful since the guy's been in charge, and to the extent that I'm thinking, hang on here, don't force me and try and push me around into thinking what you're thinking, and try to patronise me with your crappy arguments on Twitter. I'm not having it. I've been supporting this club since the 80s. In fact, and that's nearly 40 years or more supporting this football club. Don't tell me how to support this club. How dare you? I don't care. It's not about you being younger than me or older than me. I don't care what part of the world you're from. Just accept the fact that I'm not going. I don't want this coach to carry on any longer. I want better for this football club. I want this club to compete. That's not a crime. Why is it such a crime for us, me to want something different from you? You don't pay for my season ticket. You know, just because we follow each other on Twitter doesn't mean that you own me and I don't own you. What's wrong with you people? Mind your own business. Let me form my own opinion and let me just carry on. Yes, we can debate, and we, you know, if you want to say agree, disagree, but to make it personal and start saying, oh, you're this and that, oh, you're disloyal, oh, get over yourselves. Get over yourselves. You can't put a price on anyone's loyalty.
I want to read this comment real quick. Big up to Neil Jones for your comment, mate. Big up to everyone watching. Smash the likes up. If you haven't followed me on Discord, it is linked to the top of this chat. So click on it and go and check that out. Keep the community going whilst I'm not online on here. But this comment, is perfect. It is perfect. And it kind of backs my argument and all of our arguments. Yeah, and I appreciate you putting the comment in. It's not a dig at you personally, Neil, yeah? That comment alone, and go and have a look at them 6 games, the last 6 games under Unai Emery. Go and have a look at the last 13 games under Unai Emery. We lost 3. This manager has already lost the same amount of games as we lost in Unai Emery's first full season in charge, for 10 league games. Last season, we lost 10. Yeah, and Emery lost 3 of them. He's already lost more league games than Unai Emery did in 4 months less. So, and not only that, as bad as them 6 games were, and we all agreed at the time, and even now, he should have gone, Emery, and he did go, and he paid for it with his job. But this guy is breaking records that have stood for 100 years. And people are still fucking, oh, Mikel. Why? What's the difference? This guy's worse.
Because what's happening is...
team. Go on, mate.
Yeah, but the thing is, they've been programmed to believe that, you know, something good is going to happen around the corner, and it's going to take time, and blah blah. And that's the thing. You know, people. You know, I've the 3 polite people I want replaced, and that was what I was saying before the Chelsea game. You know, I wanted Edu sacked, I wanted Vinay sacked, and I wanted this manager sacked. Well, with the exception of Vinay, all of them are getting praised. I mean, Edu's getting praised for being a genius because of the transfer window this January, because we've finally Mustafi's had his contract cancelled. Socrates has had his contract cancelled.
Yeah, we paid them to leave.
Had their contract cancelled. Yeah,
we paid them to leave.
Edu,
here's your money for the rest of your contract. Leave.
It would have been a genius if we didn't have to pay him off. Yeah.
Do you know, yeah. If to get Ozil out without paying him for 6 months, yeah, cool, fair enough.
Oh.
Mate, it's mad. It's mad. But do you know what? Yeah, this fan base, some of them don't deserve success. Real talk. Yeah, and some of them have never seen us win a title, so they're only used to the fucking back end of Wenger. Yeah, so they don't know any different. They don't know the standards that we have in terms of we've seen title. You guys have seen more fucking trophies than I have. Yeah, but we've all seen a massive amount of trophy wins at this football club in multiple competitions. Yeah, a lot of these people that are spitting this Arteta bullshit about process and all that, they've never seen us win 1 league title. Yeah, they've never seen us win the Cup Winners' Cup. They've never seen us do a cup double. They've never seen anything like that. So their standards are what the club have been peddling out since Wenger was here in the last decade of Wenger. They've just seen FA Cup. Oh, so the FA Cup's now the be-all and end-all for these fans.
What I wonder is when is enough going to be enough? Because I do think Arteta is lucky in the sense that fans are not there in person, especially when he went through that barren run. Because then it would have been interesting to see if Edu would come out with something so foolish when he's hearing like live booing around him. It would have been. I very much doubt it. Even he's not that dumb.
Sacked in the morning. Sacked. Can you imagine 60,000 singing that? Yeah, and we're losing fucking 3-0 to Villa.
So I think he's survived.
Got that.
He's survived pressure.
Got that.
That's what I'm saying. Emery was under pressure from day one, because to answer basically that guy who said it was dire, it wasn't as dire as this.
No, it wasn't. And this is the thing. People forget we actually played really good football under Emery.
That's the difference.
Slapped up Valencia in 2 legs. Yeah. Aubameyang scored a hat-trick away in Valencia. Yeah. Leicester at home when everyone was knocking one out about the fucking team goal. Yeah. And Mesut Ozil's back flick. Yeah, and then he scooped it to Aubameyang. That was quality. When we slapped Tottenham up, quality. Chelsea we beat at the Emirates, quality. Man United we beat at the Emirates, quality. Yeah, Fulham away, we've got our Arsenal back, quality football. Aaron Ramsey back heel goal. There's so many more games I could go through. It's mad. Yeah, it's mad. But these people have erased that from their memories because it weren't Mikel Arteta. Yeah, so when we do one great first half like Wolves the other day, we were robbed. And then we're going to play the same sexy football against Villa. Inside 1 minute, we're 1-0 down and we've done fuck all. Yeah. But then we do it against Leeds and then it's, we're going to do it again. And then it's back again. No, Unai Emery would get us past Benfica with his fucking eyes shut with that squad. He beat Salzburg away with fucking an average age of 33 in midfield or whatever it is. Yeah, come on. It's pathetic. And there's double standards between Emery and Arteta from our fans is pathetic. Yeah, it's pathetic. We're a lot worse now than we were under him.
really got my nerves the other day. I was watching a podcast the other. Well, it's one that's on every week, and the guy was going on about. He was going on about what was it? He said about under why are people saying Emery's better than Arteta and all this, and said when we was playing Carl Jenkinson and all that. Yet that same guy, when we lost to Benfica in the final, wanted to give Emery another year. Now he's slagging off Emery.
Oh, can I just say as well, when we're playing Cole Jenkinson in games and all that, yeah, there's your answer, mate. Cole Jenkinson. Yeah, that's the level of player Emery had. Bro, you can close these people with simple
Emery now. He's now saying it now, comparing Emery to Arteta. He's slaughtering Emery. But when like to me wanting Emery out, and I did want him out after Baku.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Emery another season. He wanted to give up another season where we could have had a new manager in the summer.
Let me ask you a question, yeah? Let me ask just you for now, Claude, yeah? Let me ask you this. Who would you rather at left wing? Alex Iwobi or Bukayo Saka? In full flow now, Bukayo Saka. Not just coming through the team, Bukayo Saka. Would you rather Alex Iwobi or Saka?
Oh, Saka all day long.
Yeah. Would you rather Thomas Partey, yeah, or Lucas Torreira?
Well, difficult with Partey because he's getting injuries, and I've not really seen too much.
No, if they're not injured, who would you rather?
Oh yeah, Partey. I think Partey. Yeah.
Would you rather, let's say, David Luiz and Gabriel, or Koscielny and Mustafi? Even though Luiz is a liability, we're picking Luiz and Gabriel, weren't we? Would you rather Nacho Monreal or Kieran Tierney?
Oh.
Yeah, can you see where I'm going with this? That's the level of player Emery had, yeah?
That's what I'm trying to say. But this
man got to the fucking final. Yes, we got slapped, but he's fucking levels better than this manager will ever be, mate. Yeah? And look at what he's doing with that team. He's lost 2 games all season in that league with fucking VIEIRA. Bro, they've got Foyth at centre-back, Capu, fucking Carlos Bacca. He's got Pensioners FC at fucking VIEIRA, and he's 5th in the league. It's mad. And they're going to get deeper than us in the Europa League.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is at that time, he was supportive of Emery and saying what a good job he's doing. He wanted to have a season. He wasn't coming out then and talking about bloody Jenkinson and all that then. Now,
talking about processes, were they?
Love of his life, he's now comparing him to Emery. Do you see how stupid people look when they look back?
But this is the thing, Claude. People weren't coming out with process back then, were they?
No.
But why was that? Because the club never peddled it via all their little puppet journalists and through their little bitch yeah, they peddled it with Arteta, which is why everyone's saying, how many fucking people come to go, trust the process? Well, why? What? Because the club told me to. I wouldn't trust I wouldn't trust them to fucking do anything. Yeah.
Also, he's coming out with this utter crap as well. That when we win, we go into hiding. Yeah, we have.
I'm here 3 times a day, at least twice anyway. Arteta out. Should we put the rat on the screen? Fuck him.
Yeah, we go in hiding. Yeah.
There we go.
And the stat. What about when? And he said we have.
I don't hide nobody.
We don't have much energy when we win. Yeah. This is the same guy that put a banner out after we beat him whole 4-0. Now, where's that coming from then? Shut up, man. Shut up. Or don't talk at all, man. Shut your
Anyway, on that bombshell, the rat's back on the screen.
We know what that guy's about, Claude. Come on now. Come on.
But anyway, listen, there's somebody in the chat telling me to stop swearing. How about fuck off? How's that?
I didn't see that comment. I didn't see it.
I love it when people tell me to stop swearing. When I do these videos, it says, is this video made for kids? It's not. So if you're a kid, don't watch it. Because if you're easily offended by swearing as a kid, yeah, don't watch it. It's an over 18 channel, mate. See you later. Anyway, big up Vegas Gunner. We'll keep going in the wrong direction as long as Xhaka and Bellerin play for this team. They're a huge problem. Yeah, and they're 2 of the mainstays because he fucking rates them. Yeah. It's mad.
Yeah.
It's mad. But listen, I'm going to have to wrap this up, lads. And big up to Vegas Gunner for your donation as well. I will put, in fact, I'll do it now. What's your schedule, Claude? When are you next on, mate?
Oh, that's a good question. It'll be probably the watch along, unless something gets fixed in time. The watch along, or no, actually, we're playing Sunday, aren't we? Probably Kenny Ken.
Yeah, Sunday, yeah.
Available. Kenny Ken on Sunday morning.
There you go.
On 11:30 on a Sunday, he's putting his thumbs up.
Available.
So Kenny Ken on Sunday morning 11:30. We chat about the game ahead and look back at the Saturday before. So yeah, Kenny Ken, yeah.
What about you, Chig? What's your schedule, mate?
So I'm going to be doing a preview in about an hour, which will be a members preview. So make sure you guys are around for that. And also, I'll be on later for the combat show for you MMA stroke boxing fans.
There you go.
Make sure you join us for that.
Like Chig, the big fight. What's it? Deontay Wilder fight. Is that coming up soon?
It's in June, isn't it? I think it's in June.
No, it's
no.
There are rumours that he's going to fight soon, but nothing's been confirmed.
No, who was it? It's a no. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of another fight.
Dillian White.
Russian guy. Who's fight? The big fight with the Russian guy. Who's it?
Oh, is it Dillian White?
No. It's probably going to be. Yeah.
Kenny on his Tesco Wi-Fi again.
So, Kenny, when's that fight coming up? That's the one I'm thinking about. Sorry.
I can't hear.
Yeah, it's your McDonald's Wi-Fi, Kenny.
No, it's going to be a
rematch. The rematch.
Right, what's wrong?
It should be the 6th of March, Claude.
Right. Okay. That's
I think a couple of weekends time.
Kenny's Wi-Fi is moving like our Arsenal Football Club under our. Big up to Anthony. He says the anti-Emery narrative peddled by the Arteta cult tried arguing with me that his 3 consecutive Europa League titles were nothing special. Yeah, come back when Arteta's won 3 then, yeah? In a row, which would never be done again, by the way. Nobody will ever do that again. Don't put it past VIEIRA to win it this season either. Big up to Harvey. Thank you for that, Anthony. I'm a Spurs fan. Love your videos. Remember when Arteta said Willian will win the Champions League within 3 seasons? I love Jose. I love Jose as well. I can't stand that he's your fucking manager, mate. But yeah, I would have loved Jose at Arsenal, mate. But it is what it is. Look, there's 2 Kennys. Look, double trouble.
Frightening, that is 2 Kennys. Frightening enough
with their fists up, bro. You'll be in big trouble.
What would have come up with 2 Kennys on one night?
That's all right. No, not so.
Go on, Kenny. What were you saying, mate?
Come here. No, I'm just saying about the Dillian White fight. It's going to be put back to 27th.
Yeah, it's possible because they haven't got a location yet.
There you go. When's is this AJ fight going ahead?
And plus, he's in quarantine in Portugal.
Fury.
Yeah, the quarantine issues. Yeah.
Yeah, Portugal and Spain. You can't do anything there.
It's not going to happen. It's not that fight will never happen.
Yeah,
well, the AJ
that fight will happen.
Blimey. Oh dear.
Kenny's Wi-Fi is fucked.
I can't see the AJ fight and the Fury fight happening.
What is it? One's bottling it, or why is that not happening?
AJ's a bit of a mug when it comes to that, isn't it? I don't think he wants it because he knows Fury are fucking having, bruv. It does. He knows Fury are having. Fury's the best boxer in that weight division by a mile, mate. Yeah, Anthony Joshua looks good. He's got a nice body and all that, and fucking ripped and all that. Yeah, Fury are tactically take him apart, mate. It would be dissection at the highest level.
I think
it'd be so easy to do. But AJ, if he does clock him, if AJ clocks him proper and catches him sweet, he'll knock him out. Yeah, but I don't think he will because he won't get near him. No. He won't get near Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is the best boxer by a mile in that weight division. But listen, I could sit here and talk about boxing for another 40 minutes, but I do have to go. So big up to everyone who is still watching, still over 500 watching. Make sure you smash the likes through the roof. Discord. Do not forget my Discord. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. It's been a wicked stream as well. It's flown past, man. 344 people have signed up to Discord. It is free. And basically it's a massive group chat. Basically, it's basically just a massive.
I was struggling with that the other day, that Discord, because I was trying.
For me, it's complicated. I've never used it, but
I was trying to get on some. They gave me to go on Discord to get, because rather than using StreamYard, they use Discord, don't they? Some of them, yeah. And I was struggling to find the I'm really bad with technical stuff anyway. I couldn't get on. I couldn't find get into the studio on it for some reason. I don't know. It's a fucking, I don't know.
Anyway, on that bombshell, I'm out of it. All of the guys' links are in the description. So make sure you go and check out Kenny's Twitter account. Make sure you go and check out Chig's YouTube channel, Goona Eagle Eye. He's going to be streaming on that in a bit. Make sure you go and check out Claude and the Banstas. All the links are in the description. And make sure you follow me on Insta as well as YouTube and Discord. Until tomorrow, I'm out of here. I will not be doing another stream again tonight. I'm going to go and sit and watch Wolves and enjoy my Friday evening. So we'll have a wonderful evening. I'm out of here.
Basically, the wife is called time. Basically,
no. Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Real quick, I refuse to stream at 9 o'clock when there's football on because the views are dead. So what's the fucking point? Yeah, nobody wants to watch me when Chelsea are playing. Let's be real.
Yeah, fair enough.
Nobody wants to watch me. Go and have a look at the views on the show I do with Turkish. It's on about 6.5K. Go and have a look at the show before and the one before and the one before and the one before because there's no football on.
Yeah.
It's like when Chelsea, when there's big games on, people don't give a shit about fucking watching me, mate. So
I refuse to the show sometimes.
Yeah, and Wolves are playing Leeds tonight. That's going to be a decent game, 2 attacking teams. So yeah, Pops could be fuming tonight. But anyway,